Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ali Asad bin Isa. Today, my fellow friend and I will present about PPC, Production Planning and Control in company of Jasmine Food Corporation Sendirian Berhad to Madam Siti Fairuza binti Hasam. I hope Madam always in a good condition. Now we proceed to introduce our members. Okay, now I will introduce my teammate. First is myself, Muhammad Ali Asad bin Isa, and beside me is Nur Farah Izzati binti Mahyudin, and beside Farah is Nur Ainaliana binti Azmi. Our fourth member is Umi Nur Syafiqah binti Hassan Bakri, and the last one is Intan Suhaila binti Zulkifli. Now we proceed to table of content. In table of content, we have first is background of company, second is about introduction, third is PPC practice, fourth is issue occur, five is solution, and the sixth is conclusion, and the last one is thank you. That's all for me. I will pass the presenter to Farah.
Thank you, Alif. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Izzati binti Mahyudin, and I will explain about the background of company. The rice bowl of Malaysia, Tunjang Alu Star, is home to Jasmine's mill. It was one of the first milling facilities in the nation, situated on a 25-acre plot. Mr. Lim Chong Bang is the founder of Jasmine Food Corporation's neighborhood. He migrated from China and settled in the state of Kedah, or known as the Rice Bowl of Malaysia. In 1960, he built his first little paddy mill in Kedah, which was run by the Lim clan. In order to accommodate Malaysia's growing demand for rice, Jasmine's management team relocated to Ampang in Kuala Lumpur in the 1980s. Jasmine established a central warehouse, a production line, and its headquarters in Shah Alam after waiting for 15 years. Jasmine's company imports an enormous range of rice through Bernas from countries like Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, China, Pakistan, Australia, India, and the United States. With products like fragrant rice, basmati rice, white rice, specialty rice, brown rice, glutinous rice, and rice vermicelli divided up through a network of distributors. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Farah. Now I will present about introduction. The meaning of PPC is production planning and control. PPC involves generally the organization and planning of manufacturing process, especially it consists of the planning of the routing, scheduling, spacing, and expansion, coordination and control of materials, method, machine, tooling, and operations time. The ultimate objective is the organization of the supply and movement of material and labors, machine utilization, and related activities to bring about the desired manufacturing result in terms of quality, time, and place. In the production of rice, Jasmine had made a program of rice examination in businesses at the same of each province. The examination consists of mature level measurement, separation of foreign objects, testing for mixed rice plants, and yield examination as a percentage. These tests are purely on the physical aspect of the rice, and they are not testing for the residue or aroma. The testing are related to the direct purchase value, and the mills will separate the rice into the grades for ease of sale. Then, in planning of rice cultivation, harvesting, and reduction of moisture by the method of machine drying, it is necessary for private and community mills to plant rice cultivation and harvesting with farmers who had a large spot of land adjacent to one others. The local community or village is responsible for harvesting the rice in the time according to the ripeness of the plants. Lastly, control in maintenance of unmilled rice. The storage of unmilled rice is another important step of quality control in the processing of Jasmine rice. There are many ways to store the rice, such as in a barn or in the storehouse. Each method has positive and negative. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. That is Aina Lena.
Thank you, Mr. Arif Ashwat. Now I will explain about production planning and control PPC practice. We have chosen the most suitable PPC practice for Jasmine Food Corporation Sdn Bhd is aggregate planning. Any business wanting to make money from a product must have a plan to manufacture just enough to fill the demand. If you produce too few things, you lose out on potential revenue. If you produce and store too much, money will be lost. A manufacturing plan is examined, created, and maintained using the aggregate planning method, which places a focus on continuous, reliable output. The majority of the time, aggregate planning is concentrated on precise sales projections, inventory control, and output levels. Jasmine Food Corporation Sdn Bhd has identified the aggregate planning along the process. As we can see, this company enhanced its rice productions during climate change in Malaysia. Rice is the most common grain in Malaysia, both in production and consumption. As the effect of climate change and population expansion continue to materialize, there is an increasing need for rice in an environment that is becoming more difficult to sustain. In order to increase their production of rice, they have set the planning process. So, the top executives have made a capital investment to produce more rice and also do some research and development R&D. Meanwhile, the operations manager has set the intermediate range plans for 3 months. Jasmine Food, also Malaysia leading rice brand, is partnering with Nestle Maggi to give back to society during the fasting month of Ramadan. This is a part of their planning process to increase their sales. As a contributing component, Jasmine Food is sponsoring 234 packets of its Jasmine Super Special Tempatan 10 kilogram rice. This is their sales planning as part of the plant operations manager. Other than that, their processing capacity stands at 50,000 tons per annum. Jasmine rice products go through rigorous quality checks and tests from selection to processing to market to give clients the finest they deserve. For the highest standards of quality, hygienic practices, and security, the most recent drying, processing, destoning, and color sorting equipment is employed. Along all the processes of Jasmine Food, keep the production rate and workforce level. To determine whether production levels should be raised or lowered when consumer demands rise and fall, this calls for effective demand forecasting. That's all from me. Next, let's we continue with Ms. Uminur Shafika.
Thank you, Noraina Liana. I will continue with the failure issue of PPC. Firstly, machine may break down. Maintenance is an important in manufacturing industry to ensure the equipment is constantly running at optimum condition. Some of the effects of machine may breakdowns on productivity are modeled in commercially available simulation software. However, the treatment of machine failure is often oversimplified and this can lead to misleading simulation results. For example, simulation models do not generally link the scrapping of components to machine breakdowns. In real production situations, however, the item being produced when the machine breaks down is often scrapped. This is because many engineering operations such as casting, welding, and bending cannot be completed successfully once they have been interrupted. Next issue is material may be delivered late or may not be delivered at all. Once a shipment is ready, it is offered to the buyer for inspection. The inspection is carried out on the basis of standards as prescribed by the buyer. If a shipment fails the inspection, it is subjected to rechecking and offered to buyer after rectifying the quality issues. The process will continue till the buyer approves the shipment. Rescreening the shipment is very tedious. Most of the time, rescreening may involve opening packed piece and refinishing the garments. Rework anyways anytime in the manufacturing leads to wastage which might be avoided by doing the right work first time. It may delay the shipment and can even lead to a shipment which most of the times is on the cost of the manufacturer. Last but not least, there may be too many rejection due to poor material quality. Inventory is considered a form of waste because of the related holding costs. This is true of raw materials and finished goods. Overpurchasing or poor forecasting and planning can lead to inventory waste. It may also signal a broken or poorly designed process link between manufacturing and purchasing or scheduling. This may cause many rejections due to poor material quality. Lean manufacturing does not just focus on the factory but also requires process optimization and communication between support functions. Purchasing, scheduling, and forecasting can have a version of standardized work in the form of a defined minimum and maximum and order points that are mapped to the process flow and take time. That is all from me. I will pass to the next presenter, Intan Sohaila.
Thank you, Ms. Umi. I will continue with the solution. First, perform maintenance on existing machine. The machine is an asset to the company. To own a machine, a company has to invest a large amount of money to get it. Machines are also among the important machinery in ensuring all operations run smoothly and help companies in producing goods quickly. Therefore, it is important to ensure that all available machines are able to function properly. To ensure that all machines are in good condition, then it needs to be maintained every few months. With the maintenance done as well, it gets an initial impression to the company whether the machine can be used for a long period of time or not. With maintenance done regularly also reduce damage to the machine. Second, manufacture product that meet various standards. Screening activities are a loss to the company. This is because the company that manufactures the product needs to hire employees to perform the screening activities. In addition, the company has to bear the cost of losses on goods rejected by customer. Therefore, it is recommended to the company to produce goods that meet the needs of customer. By producing such a good, it will reduce losses to the company. In addition, it can train employees to do work efficiently and in a manageable manner. With that, the good will be completed in the stipulated time without any problems arising. The last one is make purchases on the required item in the correct quantity. There is no denying that warehousing costs are expensive. Nevertheless, it is very necessary for a company to store finished goods or raw goods purchased from other suppliers to produce their products. The purchases of raw materials should not exceed the production to be made. Excessive purchases will damage the quality of the good. This is because each item has a period time. How long it can hold once made. To avoid losses, a company must carefully plan when the good will be purchased from outside, how much is required, and when the finished good will be delivered to the buyer. This action is done so as not to be a waste to a company. Next, I will pass to the next presenter, Ms. Farah Izzati. Please welcome.
Thank you, Intan. In conclusion, Jasmine Food Corporation's never had success in implementing the aggregate planning method along the process. Forecasting and presumptions form the foundation of aggregate planning strategies. Company must comprehend the reasoning behind issues in order to accomplish this. There are various ways to assess problems and divide them into manageable pieces. Utilizing a holistic approach has numerous advantages. These include better invention and creativity, decreased risk from unforeseen events, increased efficiency, and lower expenses. However, there are significant disadvantages as well, like the high initial cost and complexity. That's all from us. Thank you.